Welcome to the Realness, y'all. We back at it again. I'm your host, King Shrek, with my boy
Prolific Pappy, aka Tone Papadopoulos, aka I love you.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, what we talking about today, man? What we got on the page?
We got a few good topics today. We got the Ben Askren, Jake Paul beef.
Yep.
We got the ratchet chicks with the mask and the Uber and they're getting wild, getting heifered out. And then what else? Maybe I'm forgetting something.
We talked about some natural disaster type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a great conversation about Verzuz. So y'all stay tuned after the intro and see what it's all about.
I'm for real. I'm for real.
Realer than real.
You're now tuned into the Realness Radio Podcast.
I got you stuck off the realness.
Realness.
Y'all feel me? Y'all feel. Y'all definitely
Like
feel.
secret agent man. Secret agent man. Man, we're in it. We're in it. We're live.
We're
baby.
here.
We're live. Man. So, what a week. How's your week, bro?
Yo, week's been good.
Week's been
A
good?
little lethargic today, but
Okay.
working through it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly how that goes.
No, you came into the shop today, and I was probably like just in the zone. You know what I'm saying? And you just felt my energy, I'm sure. But I was like very blah today. But it's all good. Let's keep it rolling.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I came in and I was like running around, so I didn't really say too much to nobody. I was just like, hey, what up? I got groceries in the car. I got to go.
Yeah, give me my weed. Give me my weed.
I'm going to need that weed right quick and I'm outro. So, I guess we can just get straight into the mess. I wanted to speak on something that you had sent me. Oh, actually, y'all, quick programming note. Quick programming note. So next week, as we're recording our regular show, we're going to do another Verzuz episode. So that's going to be next week. Verzuz is coming out on the 20th of March.
Yeah, boy.
Ghostface, Raekwon. It's going to be
The
stupid.
chef.
So we're going to be up in here. We might go live again for anybody who wants to join who's not watching, and we are going to be recording it, doing the show Verzuz at it again. So stay tuned.
If you haven't tuned into Verzuz yet, please tune into this one because this is Raekwon the Chef and Ghostface Killah. Pretty Tony, what I'm saying? Like
it's
going to be phenomenal.
It's legendary. It's going to be crazy. So I'm excited about this one. Y'all definitely got to check it out. So let me get into the nitty gritty of some things that I have sent you or we have talked about throughout the week. I think the first one I wanted to ask about was something you sent me. Was what's up with this TED Talk about bionics in humans?
Okay, yeah. So I sent that to you because unfortunately, I didn't look too far into that specific article. I did read that the dude lost his eye, has a fake eye implanted into his brain, which is just completely madness to me. Like, we talk about cyborgs, we talk about futuristic stuff. We all grew up on Terminator, you know what I'm saying?
Some real X-Men shit.
Yeah, it's some real X-Men shit, but little do we all realize is that we are cyborgs already. We're already merging with technology. You have, vets with, limbs lost that have prosthetics. That's a cyborg. You know what I'm saying? Those are things we're attaching to ourselves that are increasing our abilities.
So we're already there.
We're already there. We're talking about Neuralink with Elon Musk, but that post really caught my eye, and I love talking about this.
I thought it was crazy, man. I'm looking at it. And I never thought that we'd get to the point where, excuse me, y'all. I never thought we'd get to the point where you could see a nigga with a robot eye.
Right.
I mean, dude's eye is like clearly on some next level sci-fi shit. It's really dope.
Mm-hmm.
And it's essentially, from the article, it's essentially a camera like in his eye.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I never thought that we'd get to that place. Like we always talk about like, man, we thought we'd have floating this by now or this. We're there though.
Yeah.
Like we didn't realize we there though, but we there though.
So according to the article, he can see through this eye?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Let's see. Rob Spencer lost his eye, repaired it with a video camera. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's very crazy.
It's part of a known network of cyborgs. Ain't that some shit? So
Yeah.
maybe we're there, bro. Maybe he's gonna team up and take over the earth. That'll be pretty cool.
Well, I also think what's really cool too is like the possibility of everybody just being Iron Man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like having that interface, like that 3D interface, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
right.
That just pops up.
He's got like Google glasses, but in his eye already.
Yeah, just have a screen kind of like pop up right in front of you. It's like your, what is it? Your heads up display?
Yeah.
Like everyone has a little heads up display. That'd be kind of dope actually though. Would you like that shit or no?
I'd fuck with it.
I'd fuck with
I'm
it
a
heavy.
nerd. I'd fuck with it.
Yeah.
I'm all into some techie shit. If they were like, hey, we're gonna give you contacts that are like a heads up display, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be
Long
like
as I
that
can afford
movie.
it.
It'd be like that movie Senseless. Remember with Marlon Wayans where he was,
Yes.
where he's like regular and then he like zooms in on that girl's booty. He's like super.
Dude, that was the movie. That was the movie.
Bro, you'll have your whole spank bank on your just little heads up display right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Oh, see, that was a perfect laugh. Like it didn't even peek out the mics.
Oh, God damn it. I forgot to look away, didn't I? Yeah, so what's next? Did you see the Jake Paul?
So I was thinking about
What's your
this Jake
thoughts?
Paul thing, and I was kind of laughing at the Dana White thing because I've always loved me some Dana White, right?
Right.
I love the UFC. I'm a big nut about it. I think it's hilarious he wanted to put some money up on it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Jake rises to the occasion. Does he rise to the occasion and be dude because he wants to prove to Dana that he could do it, and he wants to fight Dana because he keeps saying he's going to fight Dana. Which
He wants
we
to
know.
fight everybody at this point.
Yeah,
But
he's trying to fight everybody. Dana's not going to fight him.
no.
And Dana's not in the shape to fight him anymore. And that's a young ass dude. That's not a good look. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good start to a place. Like the kid does have the chops to be legitimately in the athletic sport if he can get beyond his trolling nature. But maybe that's just part of who these young people's is now. They love the troll.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Paul's come up off of YouTube. He's projected to be the first YouTube billionaire if he hasn't already reached that mark. I'm not sure. My kids, I mean, as much as him and his brother are kind of douchey, my kids did kind of grow up watching him, but when
Right.
he was much younger, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Probably 5-7 years ago,
Right.
when he was in his teens himself. They
Yep.
started on Vine.
Yep.
They came up, made it really big, and the kid has a lot of potential. Let's put it that way. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of people in the fight world are just like, this guy's a clown. He ain't fought nobody. And unless he does fight somebody, it's not going to be a thing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I think that if he's serious enough about it, he has the ability to get good enough to where he can compete on a
I
professional
would
level.
agree.
You know
would
what
agree.
I'm saying?
He's got the ability to become a threat.
Yeah.
So where people right now would not see him as a threat, they think of him as a clown. He is a YouTuber. He's just a troll. He's fighting Tekashi 6ix9ine. But if he continues to progress, keep working with some of the, I mean, both of them are starting to train with some of the best people
They
in
have
the
the money
industry,
to do it.
and
Yeah.
they have the money to do it. You know what I mean? And to keep at peak physical fitness, dude, both of them could be a fucking problem for a generation to come. Like maybe we don't think they're that, but maybe by time, 20, 15 years from now, when we're the older dudes and we're looking at boxing, maybe that they're that generation's boxing dudes. You know what I mean? Maybe
sure.
they grew up a little bit and now they're like your kids' age and people, that generation, that's their guys.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what I also really like about the way that he's approaching it is that they're coming from a totally different lane. They're basically starting new paths for people in the future. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And that's very innovative in the sense that,
To come from outside,
like, I just
the
have
network,
money
right?
and I want to jump into this realm, and
Right.
I got the work ethic to do it.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
have
saying?
enough physical prowess and money and clout to do this. And I think that's what the thing that they use, something that kind of annoys me, I'm not going to lie, but something that they do smartly use is they do have a lot of followers and they do have a lot of money. So they have a lot to really kind of back their vibrato, shall I say. You know what I mean? And they're not horrible fighters. So, I mean, I say keep it going.
Yes.
I say keep it going and get them good fights. I hope it's a bomb-ass fight. We're going to be talking about it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We'll be talking about it on the podcast and we'll surely be watching it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think one of two things can happen. It's going to be like, hey, a great little fight where he puts on a show, displays some skills, or he gets annihilated, and we're like, oh, okay, it was a flop.
It was
You
a
know what I'm
flop.
saying?
That was bad.
I don't think I just don't see that happening. I don't know.
Me neither. I don't see that happening. I don't see it being a crash and burn. I don't see him getting knocked out. And as much as I love Dana, I honestly think he could win that fight. And maybe Dana gonna have to get that meal up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But maybe this will continue. Maybe this is what boxing's always needed, something to re-energize it,
A
right?
new fire, yeah.
To put another fire under the belt for that industry,
Mhm.
where we have always, I mean, in the last 10, 15 years, been super into UFC. Boxing is
and
took a
super
decline.
critical of boxing just for the
Exactly.
judging and
Yeah.
the fighting in general, you know,
So
not being
maybe-
super flashy.
Maybe what this is the thing to like reinvigorate it. This is the thing to bring it back into, you know, people's houses as much as mixed martial arts is
Oh, yeah.
now.
I hope so, because boxing's a boss sport. You know
It's
what I'm
a
saying?
ball sport,
It
baby.
is. It always has
We
been.
had some of the best gladiators come out of there. Titans.
Yep.
Like, I mean,
Shit we'll
it's
never forget.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Shit we will never forget.
I grew up with the family, the Theos going over to my uncle's house, them coming to my house, all the kids playing in the room, everybody eating pizza, watching the fight, blowing up when,
Yes.
you know, Michael Buffer announcing
I
the
love
fight.
them dudes.
Oscar de la Hoya.
I
Like,
love
you remember that
those
shit?
dudes.
Like, that
I
shit was
love
great.
Those were
Let's
those
get ready
days.
to rumble.
And that's kind of like what we were talking about with that Verzuz thing, where those are the days where your family gathered,
Mm-hmm.
especially here, you know, in Tucson. If somebody's having the fight at their house, go to their house and see how many cars are outside.
Oh, for
Everyone
sure.
is there.
Yeah.
The whole family. This might as well be a birthday party. There might be a jumping castle in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Some more shit going on. And this is just because De La Hoya's fighting.
Yep. And there's a bunch of numbers in a hat, and everybody's putting $2 for the round, and the motherfucker
It's going.
with the round 12 is probably gonna win, and you're like, God damn it, I wish I got round 8. You know, like fun times.
Fun times. Motherfuckers getting drunk. People are out there fake boxing and then sometimes real boxing because
Yep.
they're too drunk.
Yep.
I mean, it's just, it is so much fun, and we need the spectacle back in the sport.
I think
and
so.
maybe these kids are the spectacle for the sport.
Absolutely. Hope so.
I have something I'm looking at that you sent too. It's probably not really like topical, but I think it's crazy. That video of that volcano exploding with the people on the boat.
Wasn't that wild?
Ain't that some shit?
Imagine being on that boat, like
So
dodging icebergs, running away from a plume.
I'll up one, man. Right before we started the podcast, we're talking about a show that I was watching on YouTube. There's some crazy stories. They have a story about some people literally on a situation like this, where they were on a island and it's like an active volcano. They went to go see it, and they went to go in the pools, and they were there longer, and they didn't expect that the volcano was going to erupt.
And it went.
Half of the people got off, and they have real footage of the volcano exploding, and there was a whole nother group of people that could not get off the island in time, and it was massive. And it's just like this video, just a humongous island erupting. There's nothing else on the island, so it's just nothing but black. It's just crazy.
I'm wondering what like the actual repercussions of, let's say you get trapped in a spot where that smoke cloud engulfs you and like passes over you.
Right.
How long are you in that smoke cloud? How does it affect your breathing, the air around you? Even if you're in a building, maybe it clogs up the air filtration system, the AC. Like, do you have a chance to live?
You know, that's a good question,
You know what I'm saying?
because if it's a massive enough volcano, does it choke out, you know, the oxygen?
Right.
Is essentially what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
You're putting enough particulates and stuff into the air that it could limit your breathing, the Pompeii style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I bet that is a real issue if it was more populated, or depending on how close you were. I feel like being on a speedboat and they're going away, they probably have a better chance and they're kicking up wind.
Yeah.
But say you were just like adjacent to that, but on another island where it was like far enough to get away, but you're still inhaling that smoke and shit.
Maybe didn't know about it.
Yeah, if you, I guess, yeah, I'm not a scientist, neither of us are.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that if you're in the middle of that and that smoke and shit, you're gonna, you out, boy. You out, bro. It's over.
I think you might. Yeah.
Niggas is gone, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like they toast.
That's always one of my biggest fears, though. Like seeing those tsunami videos.
Yeah, that shit is
like,
crazy.
You see that shit rushing in. You're on the top of a building, and you're still wondering if that shit's gonna take you. Oh, that's scary. It makes me curl up my toes like sharks is in the water.
I was having this conversation earlier this week, and I was talking about I should, but I do not have a rational fear for like tornadoes and hurricanes. Probably because I'm not in a place where I've never been in one.
Yeah.
But it intrigues me more than it scares me. That's probably the whitest thing I've ever said. But
it is very white of you.
But like, I don't know why. It just like that shit don't. I want to go see that shit more
like
than
storm
I am.
chasing.
Yeah,
right?
I want to storm chase that shit more than I am afraid of its existence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where on the other hand, like my mom's from California, and I do not like fucking with earthquakes. You know what I mean? Where it's like, no matter, you can't run, you can't go nowhere. No matter what you're doing, the earth below you is shaking. Now that kind of freaks me out. You know what I mean? Like that bothers
because
me.
even in a building, you're not safe. You might even be less safe in a building.
Yeah, probably because the bitch might tumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then you're out in the open. You're just vulnerable. You're just real vulnerable
like,
in that situation.
At least with a hurricane or something, I'm like, I can get away from the coast. Like I don't have to be there. We can get in a car and like drive away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this shit pops off randomly and you're sleeping in your bed at 3 in the morning. And
hey, then you Katrina. But you know what I mean? I don't know. We've seen enough examples that I should have a healthy fear of it. You know what I mean? I was watching this thing, again, that show, and they were talking about tornado. And this dude was outside trying to film the damn tornado as it's going by instead of going inside. And it blew off, like the camera shows it blows off like the building in front of him. And then the building comes up. He survives, but it smashes his wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's like, man.
All to get a shot. You know?
All because he wanted to stand out and look at it instead of going inside. But it was one of them, I think it was one of them situations where they've been through so many tornadoes that they're like, well, this ain't going to be so bad. It's just like the people who go through hurricanes where like, we've been through them all. This one's not going to be that bad. And then it destroys the city. You know what I mean? Where you never know.
Well, it's almost like that thing
you're
where
going to get. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, but you can't look away almost either, too. It's so like it's such a force of nature that it's so powerful. You may not even ever see that again. Like that cloud, that plume cloud coming at you. Like you're trying to escape, but you want to experience that happening at the same time, which is like it's like your brain fighting itself. You know.
Well, and I think that's more or less what it is for me. Is that I'm more intrigued, right? I've never seen a fucking tornado. Or like, you know what I mean? Like been up close to that shit or heard it or the wind or like noticed the stillness in the air, all the shit they say, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see that shit. Maybe if I see it once, I'll be like, fuck that, bro. And I'm out. But right now, I'm hella intrigued. Hella intrigued. Like I kind of want to see a hurricane.
I do too.
I'd like to be in like a higher space, but I'd also like to see a hurricane.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
No reasons. Not rationable at all. You guys can, and that's not a word. Sorry, rationable is not a word.
It's all good. I know what you said.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm high as fuck, y'all.
There was a tornado in Flagstaff about, I want to say like 7-8 years ago.
Really? Do they have
touchdown in outside of the town of Flagstaff?
Yeah, because they're not a basin over there, like kind of like we are. They're not in a basin.
Yeah,
so
like they happen here in Arizona, and it has to do with the weather conditions just lining up perfectly, that high pressure and low pressure and all that. But it's happened here for sure.
It happens here, but the problem with the tornadoes here is that once it starts to go down into the basin, it can't stay because it doesn't have the room to, I guess, move. You know what I mean? So it rarely happens where the funnel will actually go all the way down here in Tucson or in the valley.
Yeah.
So that's what lucked us out is that, you know, I think if it was more open and we weren't surrounded by mountains, we'd be fucked.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it is. Where Flag, you know, if you outside that city, they got some open space over there.
Yeah.
So I think, what was it like, I don't know, 15 years ago that the funnel was up in the air and we almost thought we had one, but that was it? Because it was a long time ago. I don't remember it being recent.
Yeah, I don't know if I can even recall that, but I do have a pretty crazy tornado story. That's the only exposure to a tornado that I've ever had.
Hit me.
It was when I was firefighting. I was probably 2006 in Texas. And basically we were on this fire. There was a storm rolling in. We were out there kind of cleaning up like some old burn and just making sure things were, weren't hot and just maintaining the line. When we all looked up, sky was getting kind of dark, getting kind of crazy. There was a real cold chill in there. And I looked up and I saw swirling clouds, like right on the underside of the cloud above us,
Really?
And you could watch the cloud swirling like it was about to form a funnel. And that's when they're like, all right, get everybody off the line. Let's go back to the base camp. We all went back to base camp that night. We were hot shots. So like we're all trying to be badass tough guys and stuff. So we're like sleeping outside in our sleeping bag still. It's about to rain. You know what I'm saying? Like you put your tent up, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we all passed out in this big parking lot. About 2 a.m, this storm finally rolls through. And it starts pouring down. A bunch of the guys, we all run to this big, it was like a community center. It was like where they had an arena. It was mid Texas. They had like a rodeo arena, but it was indoors. And they had big awnings on the outside of it. So we all ran under there. We were sleeping there. And I just remember like laying there in my sleeping bag, and the porta potties were just getting blown across the field, and it was madness. Like it was wind and stuff. And I just remember the next morning, one of my squad bosses, all he did was like roll underneath our truck, and he was in about a foot of water in his sleeping bag in his air mattress. And he was like, yeah, I was holding on to the pipes underneath the truck. Like I was floating for like an hour. And I'm like, why didn't you get out? You know what I'm saying? But like, that was the closest experience I've had with a tornado. And it was pretty scary. It was fucking hella scary. We heard the sirens going off, and it was wild.
That's insane.
Yeah.
See, nothing in my life, nothing in my life has ever been close to that moment where like, man, like you just painted a picture that was like that movie in the 90s.
Yeah.
Tornado or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh, Twister.
Yeah.
Twister. That was my shit.
That was my shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You made me like, that's what I'm going
Dorothy,
through my head.
bro. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, did you try to unlatch the thing to put the things in the sky?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get that radar. Get that radar going.
Yeah, no, it was intense.
That's crazy that y'all would be sleeping on the floor like that, because I could have never been a hot shot.
Oh, yeah, hot shots. Ironwood hot shots here in Tucson with Northwest Fire.
Big ups to y'all.
Yeah. You couldn't put a tent up. You put the tent up, like
I'd have been a hoe, nigga. I'd have had a big ass tent, had some rooms in there.
Yeah, you had a lawn chair out.
Yeah, they
roast some marshmallows.
Shrek over there having way too much fun. I'd have been doing too much. I can't be no hot shot.
Yeah. Over there carving sticks.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to bring up one last thing this week that I wanted to talk about that I thought was interesting. And these hood ass females acting ratchet in that dude's taxi in San Francisco.
The Uber ride, yeah.
The Uber ride.
The mask Uber ride.
The mask Uber ride. One thing I want to put out there, y'all. Look, you can have whatever beliefs and be however you want to be. But when you're in establishments or in somebody else's car doing some shit like that, just put your mask on, man. You ain't finna die. You'll be all right. You'll live. Just put your mask on, especially while you're in somebody else's car. Have some respect. These folks ain't had no respect at all. They should have put some respect on my nigga's name.
Yeah, they thought they were doing a crusade or something like for people's rights. These ratchet ass chicks,
for real,
starting shit, and then when the dude gets mad, they're like, "Oh, you about to get your ass beat?" Like,
yeah,
no,
ass
beat. It was just infuriating watching that video.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
Also kind of hilarious.
It's funny as fuck in some parts.
But
you know
I feel
what I
bad
mean?
for the dude.
But I feel bad for the dude because he's just trying to live his life and make his little something during this corona. And he got these ratchet ass girls in the back, and he just like, hey man, put your mask on. I'm pulling this bitch over.
And the dude, from what I read in the article, the dude even pulled over to a gas station and be like, yo, go buy a mask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like accommodated you.
Right.
And
you
like,
still going
trying to run a business here.
Yeah. And you still going to act up. You still going to be an asshole and fake cough on the dude. Like,
oh, dude, that was the funniest part, bro.
The fake cough thing is stupid.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, come on, man. Why you doing all that shit on the dude? And then her homegirl like, oh, you want to get some? You know what? This is something I saw on the internet that I want to put out there as a black person. Black folks, when y'all got non-black friends, stop hyping them up like that.
Yeah.
It's y'all's attitude. And it's y'all going, oh, in the background that made that other little girl think that she had the right to act up.
Yeah, then she turned into super gangster.
Yeah,
after
she
that.
want to be hood just like you, the way you are. Y'all, we got to cut that shit out. If your homeboy, homegirl ain't acting right, you should have told her to put on her mask and fall back. Let that man do his job, and y'all can just get the fuck out the car. Or if you didn't want to do that, and he want to let you out, just get out.
Just get out.
Just get out.
Why do you want to hang out in that car after all that anyway, and then still get a ride? Like, you ain't getting a ride after that.
Yeah, you
know
still want to ride with the dude.
The chick in the middle was like, I'm trying to leave, and these bitches like, nah, bitch, like, we fighting today.
She's sitting there on her phone like, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with this shit. Hell nah. And
but when they
was
made
all
that,
in.
bro, when they made that cough face, like when the little kids cough, like, oh my God, I died,
the little
bro.
lip shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. And it was funny too, because then it made the companies come out and say some shit. So Uber's like, hey man, we deleted that. Like, we don't even fuck with her, blah, blah, blah. And then Lyft came out and was like, hey, she keeps saying that she gonna ride Lyft. She don't got an account over here, player. We don't fuck with that bitch, dog.
Nope.
Nationwide, so that means this bitch is in yellow cab, nigga.
Yeah, she can stick that old thumb out on the side of the road.
Yeah, try that dirty shit with a yellow cab, nigga. You gonna get a different response. You gonna get beat up in that yellow cab, creepy ass niggas, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
How you fuck up
you
your
don't got
Uber
your face
situation?
covered in a yellow cab?
Nigga, it's a whole
be
different
praying to
story.
Allah.
Yeah, you go. They gonna beat your ass, nigga. You not them yellow people in the yellow cabs don't play that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother level, man.
Yeah.
But instead of ending it off on the dirty, I think we do want to. I want to talk about one thing to end it off, so it goes into the next thing. So we're gonna really end it off on this conversation. How dope is it that Verzuz sold to a big company?
Oh yes, I completely forgot about that.
Right?
You might have to enlighten me a little bit about this, but it sparked a lot of questions when I first read about it in my head. So Timbaland, Swizz Beatz, right? Sold Verzuz to Triller.
To Triller.
Okay, so Triller
is like
off
an app.
top is pretty dope because they hosted the Tyson fight.
Yep. They do big shit.
And they're actually coming up and making a name for themselves in this pandemic
as well.
As well. So yeah. I'm excited about it.
100 million.
I'm also excited about the fact, and because this is something that we've brought up about Verzuz before, is the fact that it seems like each group that is doing the Verzuz does their own production value, right?
Right.
So maybe with this, it's going to be more uniform, more what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be structured, I guess.
I also think what's going to be really cool is that I think it'll help expand the repertoire, and the getting it, to other genres like we were talking about in the last episode. Moving it from genre to genre, getting other people involved.
Yep.
And what they did that was dope is that everybody who's been on Verzuz, going from this point beyond, got a stake in the game.
Absolutely.
So they all got a piece of the pie. They all have stock in the company. They all have something to earn and eat off of, which is crazy.
Yeah. And big ups to Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. That's like a quick
ups.
That's like a quick come up. Like they put something together, sold it off.
Sold it for 400 million is what they estimated.
Made
might
a pretty penny off of that. Yeah,
and stock value. Then you're just put on the board or CEO and run run that section of the company. Still do your shit, and then get everybody else who was in it with you to eat off that too.
Yeah, and I think they sold it to the right company because Triller seems like the type of company that will take it somewhere. They didn't just sell it to somebody.
Right,
you know
take it somewhere, and then also let them build their creative shit off of it too. So they're gonna keep it. I feel like the way that the boys built it, but with that extra vibe. You know what I mean, and that extra reach.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big move, and of course we'll talk about it in length in the next Verzuz episode, and we'll be going on and on because that one's gonna be crazy. I'm excited. Probably have some people over, so everybody stay tuned for that episode. It's gonna come out after this one, the week after, or no, it'll come out the week after this episode, sometime during that week, because we do the Verzuz episodes on off days. Check this one out. Check the back episodes. Number 5, because this is number 6.
Yeah,
we're
getting up there, huh? We're getting up in the double digits.
We're
almost
doing it up. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like what I got going on, I'm at Superior Shrek on Instagram.
And same thing. Prolific Pappy Instagram. Follow us up.
Follow us up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this. Tell your friends, share it out, and y'all gonna hear it on this episode. Shout out to my boy Huge for helping us out with the music plug. I'm gonna make sure I put the link and everything in the bio, or some way y'all can figure out how you can get this boy's beats. It's gonna be fire.
Tunes coming.
So all right, y'all, this is another one, and we out.
Peace out. See Trout.